Space contained from all this trauma because I came from pain. I stayed facts, y'all played on. They plays mess with fake love. And I ain't listen till I hear old age. And y'all gon' listen as I hit flow straight.
Big shout out to everybody listening in. This is QSJ Radio. We are digging in the underground to uncover independent artists, creative voices, and the stories that shape the music you don't hear anywhere else. Today, we are headed to Indiana, Pennsylvania, to meet an artist whose journey started just at 11 years old. By 13, he was already recording music and developing a style that blends classic hip-hop storytelling and modern energy and authenticity. Known as Nas Da Realest, Nasir Lefevre, which I'm probably going to get it for that, is preparing to release his debut EP, recorded at Pittsburgh's respected ID Lab Studios. What stands out immediately about Nas is not that is about his age or his talent. It's his commitment to creating meaningful music. His songs focus on real-life experiences, personal growth, and overcoming challenges without relying on profanity, negativity, or glorifying harmful lifestyles. In an era where many artists choose trends, Nas Da Realest is building his foundation on storytelling, positivity, and genuine connection. Today, we're digging into his journey, his influences, his upcoming EP, and what drives him to use music as a tool for expression and encouragement. Nas Da Realest, welcome to QSJ Radio's Digging Up the Underground.
Yo, what's up, man? Hey, like I said, I'm blessed to be here, bro. Thank you, man. Seriously.
Hey,
to
you're welcome, man. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's so crazy because I'm like, I get a lot of heads coming over here. I get the old heads. They on that AARP already. You know what I'm saying? They go. Listen, I'm not joking on them, but you got somebody right now. I'm not sure what the school status is, but I'm sure you're almost done with it.
Yeah. Senior year coming in.
Yeah,
about to come in senior year.
So and I already know that sometimes, like, especially those who are supporting you are kind of like, you still need a job.
Of course.
Need to go to school. Like, still need to do that.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that you started writing when you were like 11.
Yes,
Do
sir.
you remember the first moment you realized music was more than something that you just wanted to listen to and something that you wanted to create?
For me, it was more when I started to evolve. So like when I was 11, like I was just writing, writing little rhymes in middle school, just didn't think of anything of it. But when I like really recorded my first song, then after like I just kept evolving. So like eventually, like when I made one of my songs called Protocol, that really felt like that, like this isn't just a hobby. This isn't just something to cope. This is like real. Like this is something I can make from it. I've always kind of I never knew what that like one talent, like how everybody has like their one talent.
Like,
I never knew what that was.
Somebody's like a singer. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's writing. It's writing.
Wow.
And really like when I first performed was another one that was like kind of like welcome to the industry, because I never really, I never really was like a big public speaker. Like I was quiet, but like when I was on that stage and like just, what I mean? Like it was like an expression. It was like expressing how I feel.
Yeah.
And just having that just to show me like this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do.
You recorded your first song at like 13. Looking back now, which is crazy because it's only like 3 years ago.
Yeah, no, literally.
Right. What do you hear in those early recordings that tells the story of who you were at that age? Like, who do you think you were at that age?
I think, to be honest, like I think that was like, now I look back at it and I just think that was kind of me before like I really developed what I wanted to do for hip hop, how I wanted to impact it. So I mean, like I feel like the message was there, like the message was like hidden in there, but like hence in my first song, my hook was literally, don't ever let anyone tell you that you're inferior. You only live life once. Sometimes there's a barrier. Don't ever let anyone push you around. This is rap life. This is how it's going down.
Yeah.
I wrote that when I was 12. You know, so like I said, the message was there. The message was there. I do feel like now that I've enhanced my delivery and my flow, like my skill, my technical skill, it's a lot. It impacts even more, you know, because
so at 12 years old, having that kind of thing, you know, it's like, I feel like there was like a lot of haters in your life in some form or fashion.
But that just means you're doing something right.
But at 12 years old, it's like everybody hates on everybody. You know what I'm saying? You could have the dirtiest shoes and they getting mad because you have the dirtiest shoes. Like, nah, I'm gonna go step in doo-doo right now. and I'm gonna have to do, like, it's a competition every 5 minutes, bro. It's Seriously. Like, it's crazy. But you took that into another level, and then also there's old heads that still don't listen to that. Like, there's barriers. You need to put a boundary across what you believe is your piece, right? So, you know, and a lot of old heads don't think that, which is crazy because now I understand that you're saying that you know you getting your syllables right and all this other stuff and your cadences and your scale text and your writings, all that. But I also believe that you also like believe the stuff you're saying more than you were at 12. Because, man, when I was at 12, I still remember I had like 13 chicks and I didn't ask none of them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, where were we going to go anyway, right? Like, But anyways, many young artists, they're influenced by like trends. Like they hop on the TikTok, they do whatever. But your sound has been not only what I've heard, but has been described as old school, new school hip hop, which is crazy because now this old school hip hop is when I was young, around your age. But it don't sound aged. It sounds very into the now. I gotta figure out like what artists or albums had like the impacts in shaping that, because you got some boom bap in there, you got some other stuff in there, you got like you're switching it up, genre style, like the master of hip hop type of thing that you're getting into that. You know, I don't know who your senseis are, but who was some of the people in your playlist that influenced that?
My favorite artist is J. Cole, personally. I was big on Nas for a while. You know, I love Stillmatic, one of my favorite albums ever. You know, I love J. Cole. Another one, I know he's a controversial, but I also like really appreciate Drake's music.
Okay.
I'm big.
You know, it's all entertainment. By now, you probably already understand that it's probably all entertainment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being at that high leisure, the only thing that people really do in battles these days is tell the human that they don't like the worst thing that you could do as a human. Like I believe it's all entertainment anyway. Those are some really big picks. So J. Cole,
I'm also sorry. I also have Black Thought is another one.
Okay.
I like if you know who Locksmith is.
Yes. That's my people's, by the way.
And shout out Benny the Butcher too.
Oh yeah, I heard Benny, you know, being in some of his songs real quick. Some of these guys are very transcendent. So what I mean is, like, you could listen to them 5 years from now and from back in the day. Especially J. Cole. J. Cole, you know, all these gossiping podcasters that used to be artists. I say that because my favorite artist... My favorite rapper of all time. This is crazy. You might think I'm nuts. Is Joe Budden, but
I like Joe Budden.
But I want him to shut up because it didn't work, bro. Like whatever you did was so hitting with so many people, and you didn't see that. You didn't see that, but then you need to shut up because some of these things is like crazy. But anyways, that's something something that is crazy, because you also got to realize that, well, at one time, people got to know the real you, because the music is whatever, but now they want to see the real you. It's crazy, because I'm thinking about this thing, like, you've been recording at ID Labs. Shout out to Pittsburgh. Mad heads from Pittsburgh. A studio known for developing. Shout out to Black and Yellow. But anyways, what was it like walking into that environment? And did you was that like? I mean, because it's crazy.
It was hype. I do agree, it was hype. I was just, I saw all the awards on the wall, and I'm just thinking like that's gonna be me one day. I'm gonna have some. But it was more, I want to show why I belong in that environment. You know what I'm saying? I want to, like I said, I let my music talk. I always let my music talk, but recording there truly was like a different experience. Like it just hit different, it was, it was great.
Was it coming from, what was your first style of recording? Because people, they got the home studio, closet.
Yeah, I think I went to somebody's home studio. I went to somebody's home studio.
And then you saw the other stuff, and you're like, okay. I mean, you can tell the difference, but at the end of the day, like, I tell unsigned artists all the time, you can still make hits at the closet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You feel a little bit more comfortable anyway. There's so many other things going on in a big studio like that. But that's my 2 cents. And I'm saying this because remember, post recording, I said, like, I was investigating, like, who's doing what. Like, you don't want to stay stagnant. You want to be in all these environments, because like you are doing with your music. You touch.
I think I said that in the lyric on one of my songs too. Sorry, it just reminded me.
Yeah. I'm hearing it. It's just crazy because you're maturing through your music too, you know. Sir. And I really hope that that's like as authentic as you want to be. That there's no, I got introduced through you guys through a song called "Your Way." What's this song really about? Because I was kind of like, man, 16-year-old talking about "Your Way." What?
Well, it was definitely more of like a breakup relationship type song. But what I did was, instead of just talking about one person the whole time, I kind of mixed different experiences that I've like had with other relationships and put it all into one. You know what I mean? Okay. As like a point of view, in my point of view.
All right. So I'm gonna reintroduce this to a whole bunch of people who have not heard the Nas Da Realest. He is playing on QSJ Radio. You can download the app. You can hear us on www.qsjradio.com. And of course, whoever's listening live and you got, things to do, you can always download the podcast. Nas Da Realest is streaming all over the place, so it's not something that you're just going to hear here. You can always show support, subscribe, and like Nas Da Realest, Your Way on QSJRadio.com.
I be out here taking risks. Something clicked up in my head like put some work and go get rich. Even thoughts I won, a couple niggas found that in a ditch. I just gotta take my shot, but either way I cannot miss. I ain't about to go out like no bitch. I ain't about to hold back. I got 3 words. If you hating, that's suck a dick. I was trying to ball with niggas, get involved with niggas, but they don't wanna set a pick. Starting to feel like true friends don't exist. Only my 4 bros and that's it. Gang be out round with them sticks. He gon' make you niggas shirts say rip. If I should die, just don't forgive me. I'm a real one in my hood, but what do that mean to my city? On my birthday, cut myself a present. It was my first semi. Wish they understood that I feel like the Reaper come to get me. I'm in the studio right now just trying to pick.
Big shout out to everybody listening. If you just tuned in with us, we are talking to Nas Da Realest out of Indiana, Pennsylvania. I literally had to reread that 3 times because I didn't know there was another Indiana anywhere. But
I know, trust me, there's a lot.
Bro, I'll be saying
states.
Here like, yo.
There's a lot of state. There's a California PA too, which is crazy.
Oh my god,
I know it's wild.
So Your Way right there, available all over the place. One thing that immediately caught my eye was, and being the young dude, and you're talking about these experiences that you had. Usually we flipping out. Yeah, I mean, and you all flipping out in the track about a few things that didn't go your way. But one thing that's crazy is that there's like no cursing. There's no like drug glorification. Was this conscious decision from the beginning, not only just this track, that you approaching it like that?
Well, I've hence it's in the name, the realist. I always want to be authentic. I want to keep it real. I always want to use I'd rather use like things that I've experienced, to portray it in my tracks, than just talk about drugs. I've never been in the drug game of my life. I'm not gonna act like I may use it for a metaphor, but I'm not gonna say I was ever in that game.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's a lot. That's the thing that happens a lot now, and it's starting to influence like a younger generation, and through the shorts, through all
Everything.
of it. I think getting back to the authenticity, and I don't want to say getting back to the roots of hip hop, but at the same time, like evolving, like kind of started from the ground up and start something new. That's why I want to come in, not just in with these trends, but I want to more make a trend than just be,
It's crazy world out there in this industry, and I know that you cutthroating. Like, you might not want to be the enemy of this, but I'm just seeing it, and I'm like, man, like this is not the same hip hop that has been given to me for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
You always got somebody, overusing auto tune. They're not even using the right auto tune. They just like adjusting it in some way. I'm like, okay, all right, guys, y'all gotta stop. But you a young head. You grew up with the internet. Probably got thrown tablets in your face. You decided that, I got strict parents too. I'm the strict parent. I'm the strict parent. But
I had learning games, bro. I had learning games in books.
You had to write the number 1 like 30 times. But
yes, sir.
Now music has this shortcut where people are using AI. I don't know if that has like, have you been around enough to find that disgusting or find that creative?
I think it just depends on the way you use it. I think there's both ways. I would say using AI to make a song for you, that's no, definitely no, that is nasty. Like that's not authentic.
Yeah.
If my name don't have the realest in it, then I'm not gonna be messing with things that aren't authentic.
Yeah.
I think being able to use AI like to learn from something is great. I think, if you can do it, but I just think it's just being misused. I think it's more being misused than the whole thing being disgusting. I just think
it's nuts. It's nuts. Like, I became a fan of this rock group, right? And I'm like, ooh, look, let me go see where if they're playing somewhere. While ChatGPT said that's one of my peoples. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean that's one of your peoples? He said, yeah, wild. Man, like that's one of my peoples. That's like they're AI. There's no real person behind that. And I said, they got me, bro.
And that's the thing. That's the point. Like, especially my newer song that I haven't even recorded yet. Like, I addressed that a lot. I addressed how, AI is like literally starting to take over music. You know what I mean? It is. Yeah. And I feel like this is like where hip hop is in a really bad spot right now. So if I'm able to bring the authenticity, like I said, the roots, like not saying go back all the way to the roots. I'm saying like evolving the roots themselves and building something new. I think that is the thing that like sucks. Like it's almost like I'm running out of time before AI just takes over the whole thing, to get my message out there.
But I think it'll be fine because it's going to, by that time, I think like, just like there's a community of people who are just trying to overdo that, there's going to be a community of you guys that are going to be in there, and you'll be basically exactly what your goal would be. I'm not trying to take away from AI. I'm trying to make people realize it feels better when you have real feelings.
Yes, sir.
It just feels better. Like, I don't understand. Like, how did the computer just say, I loved it so much. It reminded me of the waterfall. And I'm like, bro, you ain't even see a waterfall. Like, what are we talking?
I think it's more like it's just the more AI, like more people like misuse AI, the more the less they're going to be able to think for themselves, like independently think instead of like they have AI think for them, and that'll
that brings me to a question, because now you basically young adult, you're starting to see the stresses that you're trying to understand the stresses that other adults in your life have gone through, and things are being brought up, and conversations like politics, conversation like what's going on in your community, all this other stuff. Like, do you find yourself kind of almost like detaching yourself from people in your generation? Because there are some people who are full AI people, but then you feel like, nah, that's like misinformation. I'm going to just move this way, because being true also means it's going to be hard to communicate for people who live life fake.
Yeah, I've had to I personally had to cut off a lot of people because of that. I mean, also maturity wise, I started to grow past them. Like I definitely had to cut those people that bring negative energy to my life. I've had to do that. So it was something I had to do, but I know it. Like I know it was worth it. It was worth it. I'd rather have a few real friends than a bunch of fake ones. Because I've had both. I've been in both sides. I've had both. I've had a bunch of fake friends, and now I only got a few real friends. But I know they the ones that can bring me up. They still there.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody listening. We'll go ahead and take one more break real quick. This is your new single, which I want to move on and see what's going on with this upcoming EP. These Scars of Mine, Nas Da Realest on QSJ Radio.
Influences illness to the minds of the weakest link. Changing how you act to define how the tweakest think. Short attention spans of time, your mind will be extinct. The instinctive one is decline, feels like egregious things. Why does everyone think this generation inadequate? Social skills was bad because the government was subtracting it. Because there was this one boring theme called quarantine from COVID-19 and more to bring more important things. Since those tragic acts occurred, it hasn't been the same.
These Scars of Mine, Nas Da Realest, available all over the place. You talk about authenticity like a lot. Like you gotta have one of the earlier, if you guys didn't see, Mom came in the building. I'm like, man, Mom probably threw that real word in his face, his whole upbringing, which is something that we try to do, because sometimes as parents, like kids kind of like, they want to fall into the popularity contest. They want to do a bunch of things that they want to have a bunch of friends. That you're learning now, that's more people around you to hurt you. That is something that we ain't trying to really, still trying to show you the rainbows of the earth. But at the end of the day, we have to say it like, your friends ain't going to be there for you for a long time. Behind the scenes right now, we was talking about something that happens a lot. A bunch of people try to show the support for each other, and it turns into something that the other person didn't take right. You thought I'm hating on you. I'm not really hating on you, bro. I think that you need to go back in, do a little work, organize, maybe watch more videos. You know what I'm saying?
Research. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Like, you sound crazy. But that also shows that there's this development, that you are absorbing experiences instead of like, walking the path and saying, okay, well, I've been there. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got kids in my house. Listen, bro, I'm going to just say it because I got kids around your age. Okay. And I'm going to say this right now. There's a lot of kids walking around this house that think that they know like everything. And I be like involved with a lot of shit. I got friends that are young as hell, and I got old heads, a whole bunch of people I got to deal with on the internet. And once I hear somebody in my house that don't know shit about like Naruto. I'm not even an anime head. And I'm like, you gotta stop. Right? Or something about my time, like Sonic. You know, shout out to Sonic. He's doing big things, right? He's back. You know what I'm saying? Listen, like that was my G when I was young. So, but when I hear things like that, Shasta's gonna get fired in his house too. It gets personal when you know so much. It's like, listen, if you don't know so much about that, please don't talk about it.
I understand that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not you specifically, but when
Mhm.
people are around you and they just talking too much, like, yo, chill. Like, and I hear it when you say, I let my music speak for itself. Because people already say I talk too much. So I'm gonna just let my music speak for itself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, boom. I'm just trying to let you know. So that brings me up to this EP you got coming up. When your listeners, they're gonna hear your EP the first time, what's the one thing that you hope that they understand about you that they might not know from like social media?
For me, like my message is just I hope that people understand that you can evolve through anything. You know what I mean? Even through the hard times. Even through the hard times, you can always find growth. You can always put your energy towards something positive instead of trying to make bad habits for yourself to suppress it.
Right now, what does that mean for real? Like being real?
I mean, I would say, let me think, because being real, I just think being transparent, you know, being open, also, like not lying, not portraying like a facade for yourself.
Okay.
You know, when I
Yeah.
mean staying real, I mean like, you know what I mean? Like being honest, tell the truth. Like,
Now, is this
don't
being
lie just
honest to
to,
like somebody or to yourself and somebody?
I would say to yourself and somebody.
Yeah. Because
You
a
know what I
lot of
mean?
people
'Cause,
don't
like,
a lot of people don't get that part.
mhm.
When you are trying to be like, you know, everybody has their own version of what real looks like, right? And which kind of sucks because when you try to introduce yourself as a real person, they're going to try to question that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And they're going to try to push buttons. You
my
know,
my my answer is always going to be just listen to my music.
listen, listen, again, the whole Indiana thing is messing with my head because it's a place not often mentioned in conversations about
No,
major hip hop scenes.
no, definitely not.
How has growing up there influenced your perspectives and songwritings? And are you repping Indiana, Pennsylvania as the breakout artist that comes from there?
That's a great question. Uh, I mean, I don't think growing up in Indiana personally, like there specifically, kind of amplified my like writing. You know, I feel like if I was from anywhere, you know what I mean, and went through the same stuff, it wouldn't like be different.
Yeah.
You know, like I would still have the same substance. I mean, I'm always gonna rep where I'm from. I'm not gonna say I'm repping somewhere else when I ain't never even been there or something like that, you know?
I mean, it wouldn't go with the realness part. So
Yeah, exactly.
it wouldn't do that.
It would contradict itself.
The most challenging or emotionally creative song on the upcoming EP for you, what song was that?
That's a good. Ooh, I haven't thought about that one. I think "These Scars of Mine" is a big one. Another song that I haven't released yet. It's called "Face the Facts." Is another really good one. "Dreams of Greatness." That one's on YouTube. I think that's gonna be the one I'm planning to like release on DSPs next. Um, but yeah, the ones I have recorded for the EP, I would probably say "These Scars of Mine."
You know, I do be having like these viral moments, right? So I'm gonna ask you a question that probably will catch somebody's attention. Okay, if you could sit down or want your EP in the hands of somebody, legendary hip hop, who would it be and what kind of feedback would you hope to receive?
Ooh, I need to think. So basically, putting my EP, you know what I mean, like in somebody in big in the hip hop game's hands, who would it be and what would I expect from it?
Mm.
Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I mean, this is biased for me, but I'm probably gonna go. My favorite artist, J. Cole. You know, he is a very big artist that I look up to. There aren't many artists, especially with my pen, that like I look up to. You know, and I'm not even saying that in a cocky way. You know, I just, you know, I know, especially for my age, like my pen is.
Shout out to the penmanship.
Yes, sir.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I keep thinking about like, man, who's sitting down? Coach, I'm not gonna lie. Like sometimes I was like, man, is his pops like sitting down with him, giving him like 5 bars, switch it up real quick?
No.
No
Ghostwrite. No ghostwriting here.
No,
No.
I was saying, I was like, yo, there's no way.
Like when I was younger, he like kind of helped me develop my flow. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like he wrote for me, but I'm saying he's like helped me like way earlier, like when I just started, you know, because for me, like I always just had a lot to write, but I didn't know how to, you know what I mean, make a flow for something.
Yeah.
You know, so like he
with like the cadence and
helped me with cadence and delivery, which was my biggest issue. You know, that was my biggest.
You probably back in the day, you probably sounded like you were reading.
Sound like an Alvin and the Chipmunks character or something. You know what I'm saying? But but no, nobody's ever written for me. I would say I'll ghostwrite for other people. I'll ghostwrite for other people.
You know, the music industry with young artists are demanding a lot of things. I'm sure you're probably going to take the indie route for a very long time until you see things right. But how do you like stay motivated, like facing setbacks, criticism, even like, come on, man, 16 years old, there's a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, like
how I stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just, let me think, how am I going? I mean, self-doubt is there. I always, like, I think a lot. Like, I'll admit I'm an overthinker. Like, I think of every possible scenario that could happen, you know, but with your craft, especially in this industry, like, you have to be almost delusional with it. You know, you have to be sure that you're going to make it with what you do. Shout out J. Cole. You heard him say that. You know, I heard him say that on the podcast, you know. But seriously, it's he's right. You know, like you can't be in this game questioning if you want this or not. You gotta know you want it, you know. And I've expressed that in my music too. You know, especially in the songs that I haven't released yet, you know, that are gonna be on the EP. I always, because the thing about me is that I write depending on how I feel. You know, I'm glad I was blessed with that. You know, being able to write a song about however I feel, rather that day or how I've been feeling. You know, as long as I hear a beat that just feels like something I can write to about however I'm feeling, that's how I stay motivated.
The magic. That's the part where it has to match. I think one of the questions that you asked me was, did you used to do music? And yeah, I used to spit bars. And right now, I will come up with a fucking parental advisory fucking diss track to my kids right now. It is crazy. But one of the things that I've learned when I was making music was regardless of how the situation is with the song, it gotta feel like magical. So even if it's something like crazy, which I appreciate that you're doing at that young age, because You could be doing other shit. You could get mad about it and just keep adding to it.
Exactly. Do all these bad habits that just make it worse in the future. You know what I mean?
Listen, man, I appreciate that you came back on. I know you had a little technical difficulties. But we are like coming through on our few last questions real quick. What's crazy is one of the things that I've realized is 5 years ago, you started.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you thought whatever you was going to be 5 years from now. But now I got to ask this one question, because 5 years from now, that's a whole different version of you.
It is.
But what do you feel, or what would you like? And I remember, be careful with the timelines. You don't want to do that.
I don't want to limit myself.
Okay. But 5 years from now, what would you want success to look at like for you? If you look back at me, you know, all these interviews that you're doing, songs and stuff like that, not just professionally, but personally, 5 years from now, what would that success look like to you? If you'd be like proud of yourself.
Like I said before, like prior, growth, saying that being able to just grow in what I want to do, you know what I mean? Grow towards my goals, like, and contribute daily. If 5 years from now, because I'm not even gonna say if, when, I work as hard, if not harder, especially because I'll be out of school. Like, I'll be out of school, you know, because I'm a scholar too, you know, like I'm big on school as well. Once I graduate that, and I like have like my full focus towards this, I plan on, I don't want to say just like making it, because I mean, making it for me is different than making it for everybody else, for other people. But I just want, I want to tour. Like, I want to obviously start getting a return on my investment. Of course, it's not what it's about. Like, I want to impact as many people as I can. And
you don't want to make it feel like it's a bill.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want it to feel like it's like a job, you know, like this is something I love to do.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm cool with doing this for the rest of my life type thing. You know, like this isn't just like a kind of phase that I'm going through. Like, this isn't something I'm just going to laugh about, you know what I mean? When I'm old, saying, I don't know. That's just a lot of wasted potential. Yeah. And I want to live my life to the fullest potential.
Well, I'll be around. You know what I'm saying? With good health and if all these social medias are still around, because, you know, them just be switching up.
Sir.
You know this, but you probably don't know this. As a young artist, there are young artists looking up to you. For young artists or young people listening to this podcast right now who may be struggling with their own challenges, what's one message that you want them to take away from your music and your journey?
For me, I want to say, if obviously I'm saying this, if music is your passion, and you know this is what you want to do, I would, instead of, you know, because you say going through a hard time, I would say instead of trying to suppress that negative energy that you may have, it could be from trauma, abuse, any of that, right? Instead of trying to suppress that emotion deep down, I would try to transcend that emotion into something that you're passionate about. Mm. And if you can learn how to do that, then with whatever you, one, with whatever you're dealing with, and two, with what you want to do, you are going to make it. You know, obviously nothing is a guarantee, but my point is, like, you will see change in yourself.
Nas Da Realest. That is insane. This kid is grown up, guys. I don't even know what to do. I'm going to check up on you in 6 months. I'm going to hit up management like, yo, let me know how the summer went. Let me how we, you know, because I know you got a lot of things going on and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got a lot of, got an event Actually, tomorrow in New York.
Oof.
You know,
Let's go. That's
out of Brooklyn.
driving.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a drive,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
you know, what I
whatever
mean, I
you
got my
do,
mom with
whatever
me. I
you
got the
do,
crew here
they
with
gonna
me,
know
so
you from Pennsylvania, so you can't go Nixon 5. Like the and I wanted to stamp that so people knew what we was talking about because we just
yeah.
saw an incredible Nick game and just to put the timetable on when this interview was. But yo, Nas Da Realest, Indiana, Pennsylvania zone, got a lot of things going on. I gotta do the cliche thing real quick. What social media are you most active on so where people could go bother you at?
I'm the most active on Instagram. I do want to start getting more into like TikTok, YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I have been slacking on that, I'll admit. But Instagram is where I'm the most active. Like he said before, you can see me on all platforms. Nas Da Realest, my Instagram, Nas Da Realest. That's NASDAREALEST_16.
Nas, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man.
Hey man, it's been a pleasure learning you as and growth. And you know, there's one thing that about the 5 years that you might not notice, man. But once you find that one partner, make sure they know your albums. That's it. That's it. Cause if I'll do a quiz, nah, don't do no quiz on nobody. But anyways, listen, I appreciate you, the fam, and management, the team behind you. They very, very well protecting you, which is amazing. Not a lot of artists get a chance to do that. So, yeah, man, I can't wait to see the growth. It's gonna be crazy. I'm jealous of your hair. My shit's a little nappy, but
Yeah, no, I definitely had to do my job before coming on here. You know what I mean? I'm like, I know I'm gonna have to be on the camera, bro. I'm
yeah.
just can't be out here looking bummy, man.
Nah, Jill, thank you so much, and we definitely can't wait to see everything that's going on with you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.